And hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a B-movie review. I'm Leo. Today I'm going to be having a look at Dagon. This is a 2001 horror film based on an H.P Lovecraft story, or loosely based. And essentially it tells the story of a group of people, 4 people, who go on a holiday on a boat, a small boat, and get shipwrecked off the coast of I believe it's a Spanish small fishing town. Essentially, they all get separated. The story mainly focuses on one main guy as he tries to look for his friends and fiance. I think she is one of them. He goes into this like small fishing village for help and notices something strange about the locals. Now, if you've ever played the video game Resident Evil 4, this should give you an idea of where this is going. It's very, very similar to this. That first part of Resident Evil 4, you can go into the village, and you've got the locals infected by the Las Plagas, sort of parasite. It very much reminds me of that. And essentially, what happens in the film, at least, is some years before the villagers or whatever made a deal with like a sea devil or a sea demon or something like that, and for a prosperous life, and the knock-on effects a few years later or some years later, they're all kind of turning into sort of sea monsters and have various different sort of mutations and things like that, and are kind of like part man, part sea creature. Now the film isn't a particularly gory film, and nor is it a film where it has like a lot of jump scares. But I would say there's a very sort of dark theme, a dark threat, and a lurking menace type of feel to this, and it's actually quite an unnerving film in a lot of respects. Obviously, you have to sort of factor that again, the budget in and this sort of thing. But I actually really think it's quite a good film. It's a very effective film for setting the mood until you get to sort of the end, which I think is maybe a little bit. A bit cheesy and goes a little bit, I think, a bit too stupid. But overall, the actual film itself until then is pretty decent, and it kind of really grips you. The actors are all largely unknown. I've not really seen them in anything else, to be quite honest with you. But they do an okay job. But it's really the actual scene, the actual town itself that is the dominant character, and it's a very run-down fishing village that is very, doesn't have a phone and that sort of thing, and there's one car I think in the whole place and stuff like that. So it's a very menacing, sinister feel to this film. So I can recommend it for that. I think the effects are pretty good. They're obviously prosthetics mainly, and they actually look for the most part pretty decent, I have to say. It's a fairly. The cover looks a bit crap. This will put people off. Don't judge a film by that cover, because that cover is terrible. If you're anything like me, sometimes I am swayed by some good artwork, but this is the opposite effect. It's a decent film with one shitty cover, so forget about that. But I recommend this film. It's 7.5 out of 10.